So, die AfD hat in einer Rede von Alice Weidel einen Punkteplan aufgestellt für Deutschland, um Deutschland wieder auf die Beine zu kriegen. Dinge so wie Migration stoppen, Grenze bewachen, was noch mehr, also Kernkraft wieder anschließen, wieder billiger Strom, so vieles mehr. Alles Dinge, was jeder in Deutschland gut gebrauchen kann. Right, people? So the AfD, Alice Weidel, the leader of the AfD, gave a speech in Bundestag, so in the parliament, explaining her, I think it's 10 points, 10-point plan for Germany, things like getting cheaper gas again from Russia, great. Stopping immigration, especially illegal immigration, great. Basically protecting the borders, awesome. Basically everything she said are things, they're not Nazi things. It's not about exterminating Jews or exterminating immigrants or locking people in camps or anything like that at all. All the scary shit that people tell everybody about the AfD, none of those things are in this speech at all. And I know people are going to say, like, yeah, okay, but look, they're not going to tell you the truth in a speech in the parliament, right? They're going to make the parliament speech as, palpable as possible, but they're not going to tell you their real plans. Look, if you go by that, then you can assume that none of the parties are going to tell you their real plans, especially the CDU with Friedrich Merz, because Friedrich Merz had his plan, which sounds pretty much exactly like the AfD plan. I'll tell you that right now, right? And he told us his plan, and that's what he was going to do, and he hasn't done one fucking thing on that plan at all. So, yeah, it is possible that the parties are going to lie to you when they're trying to get elected. That is possible. But we know for sure that all the other parties have basically just lied through their teeth to get elected. Friedrich Merz will sell his own fucking grandma to stay chancellor, right? So we know for sure that they lied, right? What we don't know for sure is if the AfD is lying. You see? We know for sure all the other parties are lying, right? We don't know if the AfD is lying. And as a matter of fact, I don't think the AfD is lying. I think they really want to do these things, just like the CDU said they wanted to do. But the problem is the CDU and the establishment parties don't have the balls and the political will to put through their agenda, right? And now the CDU can't put through their agenda because they're being led through the farm by their nose, right? By the SPD. The SPD is the losing party. Now, just imagine this for anybody that doesn't live in Germany, right? The party that lost the election by a lot, they are now actually the ones in power. They're the ones deciding everything for everything, right? CDU doesn't have any power. The SPD has all the power. They're the losing party because the CDU is so fucking stupid that they said, hey, let's make a coalition with the losers instead of the ones that also won the election, which is the AfD, right? Instead of the ones that are more aligned with our values and our principles and our priorities and our policies. No, let's not go with them. Let's go with the far left extremist party and see if we can make a coalition with them. Well, that's not working out real great, people. And people can talk shit on Alice Weidel all day, every day. I know people are all pissed off because this one presenter from Phoenix, one of the state-sponsored propaganda media stations that was broadcasting this speech, the guy that was, all they're supposed to do is shut the fuck up and broadcast, right? But this one moderator, the one host, decided he was going to fucking, talk through her speech every time she said something that he didn't agree with, right? And everybody's all pissed about it. Oh, you should have shut up. Look, these people know they're getting ready to be obsolete, right? They know that basically nobody's watching them anymore. Nobody takes them seriously anymore. And so they're desperate. They're desperate. So signs like this, when TV moderators just kind of like bleat through the speech of a fucking parliamentarian because they say things that they don't like, that's a sign of desperation. That's a sign of desperation. They're desperate, right? They know that nobody's listening to their bullshit, right? They know. And so they're getting desperate. They want to cling to their power. It's like why the Antifa's on the streets and the left are putting out the NGO complex right now as we speak in Gießen, because they know they're getting ready to lose their power. It's just a matter of time, people. It's just a matter of time. And then when the AfD finally gets in, we've got to really, really support them as much as possible to get the agenda done. They need the backup of the public because they're going to have to do things, right, that that all the other politicians don't have the balls to do, like go against the EU bureaucracy, right? The AfD is going to have to tell the Brussels bureaucrats, look, guys, we're going to protect our borders. We're going to fucking deport people. We're going to do what we need to do to protect the people of Germany and to make sure that the German people, the German people's lives get back on track, that they can afford stuff. And the only way to do that is to not fall prey to the EU Brussels bureaucracy bullshit like Ursula von der Leyen that seems to think she's the queen of the world, right? No, we've got to go against that. And the AfD are the only ones that have the balls to do it, right? They're the only ones that are going to have the balls to take care of business. We know for sure the establishment parties don't have what it takes, don't have the people it takes, don't have the know-how, don't have the knowledge, don't have the balls, they don't have anything going for them. Friedrich Merz and them are just basically nobodies, right? They're basically nobodies. They're losers. And right now we've got losers running our government where we live. And we can't have that anymore, right? So please, people, again, listen to what Alice Weidel said in Bundestag. I think it was the day before yesterday, right? So on Wednesday, I think it was. And listen to what she said. Listen to the plan she's got. That's a plan that everybody can get on board with. Come on. We all know we want that stuff. The only people that don't want the AfD's plan are rich, uppity fucking white liberals that don't live anywhere except for some gated community, closed off area. They can afford all the higher prices, the higher gas prices, the higher grocery prices. They're not affected by the policies that these establishment parties like the CDU make. So they're all for open immigration. They don't give a fuck because they're not affected, right? They're all for all the bad policies because they have the luxury to be able to vote on morality only, right? That's what they have the luxury to do, because they're not affected by all the negative policies that these establishment parties put out. So they're a minority, though. You know what I'm saying? We are the majority. And it's time for the people of Germany to bite the bullet here and say, let's do it. Let's give the AfD a majority, and let's let them finally turn this crazy country around. Because, look, it's falling apart as we speak. You know what I'm saying? It's falling apart all around us. So we've got to let them get the chance, get in there, and do something that'll turn this country around before it really reaches the so-called tipping point that the climate idiots like to talk about, the Kipppunkt. Well, it's going to reach the Kipppunkt pretty soon. If we let another election go by with morons at the helm, it's fucked. So AfD for everybody. Let's do it, people. I think the election is going to come sooner than we thought.